Today I'll be showing you how to replace a Woods coupler with your 2-inch cast iron pump. The first thing you'll need to do is loosen your pump bolts. Remove them completely because you'll need to spin your pump around to get to the hub. Once you remove your pump bolts, you'll need to lift your pump and move it back just a little bit where you can remove the worn out or destroyed rubber. The next tool you'll need is a 1/8 inch Allen wrench. You'll want to remove the Allen screws, loosen them up on your old hub. Always check your key. If it's rusted, if it was not a stainless steel one, you'll need to remove it to replace it. You'll replace it with a 3/16 stainless steel key. You'll take a small screw hammer and just tap the hub off. Once you tap the hub off, your key is exposed. You can just tap it and remove it. If it's rusted up, worn, you'll need to replace it along with your hub. When you get ready to replace it, what you'll need to do is get you a bottle of anti-seize lubricant. You always want to lube your shaft up so your hub will slide on easily. It'll keep it from rusting, and when you have to replace it, it makes removing it a lot easier. Once the anti-seize is applied, slide your key back into the keyway. Your new hub will slide right over. Once it's flush, just tap your keyway as far as it'll go. Now you have your new spider. To take your spider, you want to slide it into your motor end first, or the pump end. It does not matter. Then you'll take your pump and slide it back up. Align the teeth on the spider with the teeth in the hub. Once you've moved your hub back into place, you'll take your shim bars and slide them back right up underneath the pump to where they align with the bolt holes. You'll want to drop your bolts back into place. It may take just a little bit of adjusting to get it lined up. Once you get your bolts back into place and your nuts on your bolts, you're ready. You want to make sure your pump hub is pushed all the way up and there's no play in the spider. Once you do that, you want to take your 1/8 inch Allen wrench and tighten your Allen head screws down. Once you've tightened your Allen screws, you want to take a piece of flat bar or any type of metal with a flat edge on it. You want to check both sides of your hubs and the top. Make sure the flat edge is touching both hubs at the same time. That will show you that you're in square. Once you've checked all 3 sides and you're in square, you can tighten your bolts. Tighten them hand tight and then recheck before your initial tightening of your bolts. Once you've tightened your pump up and you recheck your alignment, if you find that it is still a little off, loosen your bolts back up and realign it using the flat edge of your tool. Once you've aligned your new Woods hub, you want to make sure you have some type of cover to cover your hub, because it is a rotating part and you can get caught in. Today I'll be showing you how to install a heavy-duty Boex coupler. It's an alternative coupler to the Woods coupler. It allows for a little more tolerance if you have a little bit of a misalignment due to an older plate that has rusted and the surface is not as flat as it should be. It allows for a little bit more tolerance up and down and side to side. First thing you'll do is you'll take your Boex coupler apart. You have a motor side and a pump side, and you'll have your plastic coupling in the middle. If your pump and motor split, you'll take the 1/8" hub and slide it onto your motor. You may have to tap it on. Flush with the shaft. You also take your pump side and always use anti-seize on your shafts to lubricate them. That way if you ever have to replace it, it'll slide off easy and won't be rusted to the shaft. 3/4 inch hub, line it up with your key, slide it on, and you'll also have to tap it on. Once you've mounted your 2 hubs all the way up on your shafts, you want to take your coupling that goes over the 2 hubs and slide it on your pump side. Once you've done that, you want to slide your pump to your motor, align your coupling, push the pump up flush. Take your shims, line them up with your pump bolt holes and your base plate bolt holes. With this one, you want to make sure you're up close and you have just a little bit of play in your coupling. Once you've checked and you have just your little bit of play, you want to take your 1/8 inch Allen head, tighten your Allen head screws all the way down nice and tight on both sides of the hub, the motor side and the pump side. Once you've done that, you want to tighten your bolts up tightly. Check and make sure you have still your little bit of play. And your new Boex coupler is installed. Once you've done that, you want to make sure you always put a guard over your coupling. This is a 3600 RPM motor, turns really fast. You could get caught in the coupler or the shaft and have injury. With a Boex coupler and a Woods coupler, there is a noise difference. The Boex coupling makes a clapping sound when it starts because you go from 0 to 3600 RPMs in just a matter of seconds. The Woods coupler runs almost completely silent, so there will be a noise difference. With your Woods hub, one factor in determining if it needs replacing is that you will find rubber shavings on your pump base. If you're finding rubber shavings on your pump base, then you'll need to disassemble the Woods hub, replace it, put your pump and motor back together, and realign your spider. When installing your Boex coupler or your Woods coupler, you want to inspect your base plate. If you have a steel base plate and it's rusted severely, you may need to replace your base plate with a stainless steel base plate, preferably. You can use a steel one if you want to, but a stainless steel one is preferred, so you no longer have a rusting problem and never have a coupling alignment problem again.